So I'd like to talk to you guys about the accident that occurred January 26th of 2020 out in Calabasas, California. It resulted in the deaths of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 of their friends. Just a matter of a week or so ago, on February 9th, the NTSB had their final hearing on it, and they issued a probable cause statement that spatial disorientation on the part of the pilot was the cause of the accident. That wasn't a real surprise. Most of the people that were fairly familiar with the accident suspected that all along. It's just that the NTSB, generally their investigations take about a year to complete, and during that time they look at the aircraft and pretty much every aspect that would have contributed to the accident. They want to make sure that nothing on board, there was a failure of some system on board the aircraft, that sort of thing that caused the accident, before they issue their probable cause statement. From my background, I'm actually an instrument flight instructor. I teach people how to fly helicopters on instruments, and usually at the outset of their training, I'll typically tell them that your helicopter instrument rating is the one rating that you hope you never ever actually use. And what I mean by that is, if you were to be in a helicopter and you go into inadvertent IMC, or Instrument Meteorological Conditions, that typically the amount of time that it takes to become disoriented and fly into the ground and be killed is usually about a minute or less. I usually tell them you're never really more than 30 to 60 seconds away from dead if you go inadvertent IMC. And as luck would have it, I actually received a email from another helicopter pilot that was actually giving a presentation on this very subject, that being inadvertent IMC. And he included in that email a link to a video, and the name of the video is actually 56 Seconds to Live is the name of the video. And I'll show you what the video looks like in the link here. So the web address would be ushst.org/56seconds/. The web page is going to look like this, and you'll see there's a statement on here that says, U.S. accident statistics reveal that a helicopter pilot who unintentionally continues VFR flight into IMC will very likely lose control of their aircraft and be dead within an average of 56 seconds. It says we must join industry stakeholders to do everything we can to reverse this alarming and unacceptable trend. And if you scroll down on the page, towards the bottom of the page, there's a video. Here's your video right here. Again, it's quite a short video. It's only about 5 minutes long, but it's well worth watching. And what they do on that video is they take pilots of varying experience and put them into a simulator. It's actually a full motion simulator, and then put them into Instrument Meteorological Conditions and see how they do. It's quite an eye-opening video to take a look at. Many of them don't do well. In very short order, they find themselves basically in an unrecoverable situation that would have resulted in a fatal crash. So again, well worth watching if you have the chance. On the issue of the NTSB's hearing, that's also available on a video. I'll show you what that looks like. Here's the National Transportation Safety Board. If you do a search, it's on YouTube for NTSB Kobe Bryant helicopter crash hearing. You can pull that up. Again, it's quite a lengthy video. It's about 4 hours long, but again, there's a lot of really good information that comes out when they're discussing all the events that contributed to the accident. So I'd like to quickly review some of the major points on that. Take you guys on a little review of what actually happened in the sequence of events that happened on the actual flight itself. And then I'd like to review a flight that I did actually from Camarillo. The destination point for Kobe Bryant's flight was Camarillo, California. About 2015 in March, I had a flight from Camarillo where I picked up a helicopter there and brought it back through LA and then on to Missouri ultimately, but had some of the same decision points that occurred on that flight going between Camarillo back to Los Angeles that occurred on the flight that occurred with Kobe Bryant. And Then ultimately I'd like to discuss some recommendations on things if you're going to be a helicopter pilot and you find yourself in a situation where where weather can be a factor, some of the things that you need to think about, and we'll look at that in much greater depth.